This model plots a 12-round projection of the Ennis-Zayas matchup. By integrating biometric profiles with historical performance metrics, the data identifies a specific convergence point, a high-probability 10th-round stoppage for Jaron Ennis. Reaching this specificity is difficult because on paper, this matchup appears to be a mathematical deadlock. The structural dimensions are identical. Both men stand exactly 5 feet 10 inches tall and possess the same 74-inch reach. This results in a shared positive ape index of exactly 10 centimeters, meaning their arm span significantly exceeds their height by the same margin. Because they share these exact measurements, neither fighter possesses the passive physical advantage usually required to control the distance with a jab. To find the projected failure point in the 10th round, we have to look past these external dimensions. The outcome relies on a deconstruction of their statistical vulnerabilities and the kinetic adjustments that will divide the fight into 2 distinct phases. Xander Zayas relies on his jab as his primary offensive and defensive tool. The data shows that Zayas utilizes the jab for nearly 57% of his total offense, compared to Ennis, who uses it for 48%. Without a reach advantage, Zayas's jab becomes a linear vector. It requires a stationary, predictable target to land with any consistency. Ennis disrupts this linearity through fluid switch hitting, moving seamlessly between orthodox and southpaw stances. By switching to southpaw, Ennis changes the interception angles of incoming straight punches, causing them to slip past the target. This fluidity forces Zayas to constantly recalculate his visual defensive lines, which mathematically reduces the effectiveness of his highest volume weapon. However, the early rounds are governed by the physiological realities of the 154-pound limit. Zayas is the naturally larger athlete in this division, having fully acclimated to the physical demands of the super welterweight class. Ennis is a recent arrival from 147 pounds. His only experience at 154 lasted less than 2 minutes. Ennis has not yet been tested under the metabolic drain caused by an elite 154-pounder over a 12-round distance. This lack of acclimation is compounded by Ennis's statistical defensive decline when he begins to hunt for a knockout. In his rematch with Trukajian, the connection rate for Ennis's opponent spiked to 33.1%, actually exceeding Ennis's own connection rate of 30.7%. This happens because Ennis tends to relax his guard and over-rely on head movement, leaving him open to clean countershots. Zayas maintains far tighter structural discipline, particularly against pressure fighters. Zayas held Damian Sosa to a connection rate of just 6.2% over a full fight, demonstrating high-level defensive stability. These factors, natural weight comfort and tight defensive discipline, suggest Zayas will likely exploit Ennis's defensive gaps throughout the first 4 rounds. The fight enters its second phase in the middle rounds as Ennis shifts his offensive focus. Ennis holds a knockout rate of over 88%, whereas Zayas sits at 56%. While Ennis often finds early finishes, his offense becomes a high-volume demolition process if the opponent survives past the 6th round. His primary metric for attrition involves dedicating 40% of his total volume to the liver and ribs. This body targeting strategy was evident against Chikachian, where Ennis landed 88 body shots. This systemic damage is designed to drain the legs and neutralize Zayas's lateral mobility. This brings us to a critical physiological vulnerability: Zayas's history of injury under high-intensity pressure. Zayas suffered a left-hand fracture in the 9th round of his fight with Barrow, a failure point caused by repeated kinetic impact. If Zayas loses the use of his lead hand, he becomes a stationary target for Ennis's superior combination speed at close range. The combination of depleted mobility and a compromised lead hand supports the statistical projection of a 10th round stoppage. The integrated data models provide a clear timeline for this bout, gains the advantage, as body attrition and asymmetrical pressure break down Zayas's defense. To alter this projection, both camps must make specific, data-backed adjustments. For Team Ennis, the priority is repairing his defensive posture during stance transitions. Ennis absorbs 16% more power punches when switching to southpaw due to a lax right hand. He must structurally anchor his rear hand to his cheekbone during lateral movement to plug this statistical gap. For Team Zayas, the focus is exploiting Ennis's post-jab vulnerability. Ennis consistently drops his left shoulder after jabbing, which leaves a clear lane for a right-hand counter over the top. To prevent further hand fractures, Zayas must prioritize precise timing over raw volume, mixing rigid jabs with controlled hooks to reduce skeletal stress. The final analytical reality is that Zayas' structural discipline must now face the biomechanical stress test of Ennis's asymmetrical pressure.